Hello, welcome to this update for Europe. Let's see what's happening with this severe weather today, spots of Eastern Europe, and also the forecast for next week across most of Europe because have some other systems to watch. So let's see. They put this level 3 today, spots of Belarus and Ukraine into Poland. This level 2 that goes all the way from Poland to Russia, and a big level 1 as well. There's also a couple of level 1s in Turkey, spots of Germany and Poland, and also into Czechia and Germany. So let's see. A level 3 is issued for the bordering region southeast Poland into southwestern Belarus and northwestern Ukraine, mainly for large hail and severe convective wind gusts, to a lesser degree for tornadoes. A level 2 and level 1 issued for south and eastern Poland, parts of Belarus and Russia for large hail, severe convective wind gusts, and excessive convective precipitation, to a lesser degree for tornadoes. A level 2 and level 1 issued for parts of Ukraine, mainly for large hail and severe convective wind gusts. A level 1 issued for parts of eastern Czechia into Austria, Slovakia, for large hail, excessive rainfall, and severe convective wind gusts. A level 1 was issued for parts of Germany to northwestern Poland and Czechia for severe convective wind gusts and tornadoes possible. So please be careful in those areas today. Stay safe, especially in the level 3, but also in the level 2 and level 1 areas. So stay safe in those areas. And also, we might have some storms in a few other spots, like in the UK, some possible storms today. More spots in Northern Africa, the Middle East. So be careful in those areas. And let's just see what's kind of causing this. So, an unseasonably intense mid-level low remains marked in the Norwegian Sea. Its circulation influences large parts of Europe. The excess of 25 to 35 miles per second mid-level jet runs through the Bay of Biscay to France, Central Europe, and Poland, Belarus, northwestern Russia. It's a largely collocated, broad and diffuse, more or less stationary frontal zone. In response to vorticity maxima aloft, several small wave coma-like disturbances run eastward on the cyclonic side of the frontal zone from England to the Baltic states. Their time and intensity more, hence their interaction convective developments are limited but difficult to assess. South of the frontal zone, very warm and hot anti-cyclonic conditions dominate across Iberia, the Mediterranean region, the Balkans. A weak upper level low is placed over Greece and western Turkey. So this is generally like the synopsis, and you can see here like in this map there around Norway, those areas, those lower pressures, so those intense lower pressures there in those areas near Norway and the Baltics and Sweden are kind of influencing the weather, and those higher pressures further south in Spain, the Mediterranean, those areas also to Eastern Europe. So, and some dry air from the Sahara and everything is also affecting this those storms in Eastern Europe. So let's see here now for hail. So this is for large hail. Today, Saturday, they do have some probabilities across Belarus into Russia, spots of Ukraine, and they have those hatched areas for potentially 2 centimeters hail larger, even a small hatched white area in southern Belarus, potentially like 10%, 10 to 20% chance of 5 centimeters or larger. So please be careful in those areas. And even those not these dotted areas, there's a chance for 5 centimeters or larger. So please be careful today in those areas. Some hail. They also mentioned the tornado threat in those areas, so be careful. And there's Saturday, so let's see for Sunday if they already have something. So this goes. Not really anything crazy for now, but still a few storms possible later Sunday afternoon in Eastern Europe. So be careful in those areas, especially this evening, Saturday, this afternoon starts in Poland there, later into Belarus in those areas, those stronger storms. So stay safe. Some lightning probabilities in the UK too. Be careful. And here, like you can see on the warnings here, does show some thunderstorm advisories, southern UK, some frequent heavy showers, thunderstorms expected for much of Saturday before fading from the west in the mid late afternoon. and 10 to 15 millimeters of rain could fall in less than an hour, and some areas close to 40 millimeters several hours. And some frequent lightning, maybe some hail and gusty winds. So stay safe, spots in northern France as well. And more spots into Spain. Those are many high temperature warnings in Spain. I'll talk about the heat wave in a minute. And then some high temperature warnings southeastern Europe still. So be careful in those areas. Here for the storms does show like those spots today in Eastern Europe, like shows in Poland, Belarus, those areas, those stronger storms, and still shows Sunday a few storms Central Europe. The European has a lot of rain and storm spots Central Europe Sunday. And then to Monday, that intense low pressure drifts further into Russia, so that might carry some intense storms into Russia Monday as well, Sunday into Monday. This goes, and then the next week we'll have a trough of low pressure spots of Spain and Portugal, and possibly more storms there. So here on the ARPEG model, you can see this is next Wednesday, shows like a slightly lower pressures near Spain and Portugal there, starting Wednesday. So this might kickstart some storm spots of northern Iberia and in the mountains, especially like in the middle of next week. So be careful in those areas, and not areas those higher pressures persist with some higher temperatures. So we'll keep watching. There's here on this map as well, you can see those lower pressures in the Atlantic near the Canary Islands, like Madeira, and then this goes towards Iberia, starting Tuesday, Wednesday, more storms there into next week. And then later we'll still watch, but the European long range does have some lower pressures Central Eastern Europe and near Iberia once again, but that's far out, so we'll keep watching that. So there's like the rain accumulation 5 days here. The European does show into Russia and Estonia some higher values, even close to 90 millimeters because that low pressure there. The GFS just 27, so but the GFS has more into Finland, northwestern Russia. The Icon has a lot spots of south northwestern Russia as well, near St. Petersburg. So be careful. Those areas does have like the south, like Mediterranean, fairly dry, just like central northern Europe and further inland spots of central Spain into Portugal next week, but the coast fairly dry. Shows into western France, a few more storms next 5 days as well. So be aware in those areas. Northern UK, southern UK shows some rain as well. And just today, those areas like until Sunday already shows those storms with some rain spots in northern France, in the UK, like Central Europe. So be careful in those areas. And another thing that's influencing those storms in Eastern Europe is the instability there, because it does show a lot of cape spots of Ukraine and Poland into Russia, like the convective available potential energy that feeds those storms. So shows like this afternoon there spots of Poland into Ukraine, Belarus, even to like 2000 joules per kilogram in a few spots. So this is a lot of energy for those storms. So please be careful in those areas. Some severe storms shows a lot in Africa too, and spots of Russia. So stay safe in those areas. And southeastern Europe, that doesn't show anything crazy in terms of storms. Just further north into Hungary, Ukraine, spots of Slovakia, but that shows storm or two in the mountains in Bulgaria. But it's like very little, like barely nothing. So be aware this goes maybe Mondays, some storms in Romania possible, but nothing too crazy. The GFS does have some on Monday as well. So stay safe in those areas. Monday, Tuesday, some storms start in Iberia Tuesday, a few spots in Portugal, Spain, especially Wednesday, central Spain might be stronger storms. On June 11th, shows still on June 12th, spots of France, western, southern France especially, and then this goes there. So stay safe in those areas, be careful. There's like for some other models, there's the ARPEG, for example, shows those storms today in Eastern Europe, And then Sunday, Monday shows Tuesday, a few more in Spain and Portugal, and Wednesday. So like for the rain accumulation, it does show until next Tuesday spots of Russia into Estonia, but especially Russia, close to like 70 to 90 millimeters, a few spots. So be careful in those areas. And shows near the Alps, a few spots more storms in the UK, Northern Europe. So be careful those areas, especially those storms and everything. Now, this heat still shows those those higher temperatures southeastern Europe and southwestern Europe, especially like they're showing Hungary, some Turkeys in Ukraine as well, more spots in western Turkey. Central southern Italy shows even 37 degrees in a spot or two, so be careful in those areas. Southern Spain this afternoon close to 34, 33, and even more. So be aware in Sardinia as well, central spots. And further north and west shows like a little bit colder further north, so 11 degrees, northern UK, some 16 the south. But does show in Norway slightly colder, in Iceland especially. But this goes during the night does cool down more, especially in Norway and most of Iceland, those spots there. But Sunday does heat up a lot across southern Spain, shows even to like 40 degrees in Sevilla, more spots in Portugal to 38, and the icons like to 38 as well, some 40 in Cordoba. So stay safe in those areas. The GFS is close to 42, but not quite there. So be careful. The heat shows a little bit better because southeastern Europe, but still hot in a few spots. So Sunday, this goes does show some colder temperatures in the Alps to like -2 spots in the Alps. So be aware. Monday, this goes still shows Monday afternoon in Spain, spots to 38 degrees, 37, and uh, the feels like temperatures might be even to 39 in a few spots. You can see like 39, close to 40. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful. So still ahead of that front in like in Ukraine to Russia, some higher temperatures. But these areas central to Northern Europe kind of below average because of those fronts and those winds there. So be aware, but still very warm. Southeasternmost Europe and spots southern Italy. So Monday, Tuesday still shows in Spain there and southern France to like some 28, 27 spots of France, but early in the afternoon to 32, a few spots in France, shows in Spain, some 36 still on Tuesday, and 37, a few spots in Spain, so be careful still. On the coast, 26 to 27, further south, close to 30. So be aware in those areas. Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit less, but still hot in France, in those areas. So 35, even a few spots. Shows in Spain to 36. And then this goes slightly less by Thursday because of those storms on Wednesday, but still hot in southern spots and like in eastern France ahead of those storms. So be aware, central Italy shows hot as well late next week, and then this keeps going. And maybe by like June 14th, much warmer central to northernish Europe, spots Central Europe especially. But we'll keep watching, be aware in those areas. Now let's see like this other model, those temperatures in Spain. So there's the ARPRED model. It does show spots of Sevilla, southernmost Spain, even Portugal. The ARPRED is even 40 degrees in southern Portugal and like to 41, close to 42 in Spain. The ARPRED on Sunday. Monday still has some spots close to 40 in Spain. Tuesday, a few spots, even to 36 in Western France, might be even close to 37 on Tuesday, and then this goes there a little bit less during the night. So be aware in those areas. And during the night, like Sunday morning, for example, even shows like 4, 3 degrees on the Pyrenees and some 8 degrees northern Spain. So be aware in those areas. Now there's the Aron model. It doesn't go all the way to southern Spain, but you can already see in Cordoba close to 40 in some areas. But region for Europe here, just to see those storms. So it does show like this doesn't reach Eastern Europe, but this model shows the storms in the UK. So beware, you can see this afternoon a bunch of scattered storms southern UK, a few in northern France. This goes into the Netherlands and Belgium, like by tonight or something. Shows into Germany tomorrow more scattered showers, and then a few ones in Austria and the Alps as well. In Spain, fairly quiet except for a shower or two on the southern and eastern Pyrenees. So beware. This is Saturday. Sunday doesn't show much in Spain. Just eastern France, some spots there. So be careful in those areas. And does show a Cape here. Nothing too crazy today. A tiny bit in the UK, but nothing too crazy. Shows some in Italy, but I don't think there'll be storms there. So yeah, the main thing is in Eastern Europe there today. So be aware those areas, but that shows some more wind gusts with those storms, especially in Germany tomorrow. Spots of the Netherlands, and some of those storms in the UK, some higher gusts. So be aware, like the accumulation does show in total, like maybe the Netherlands and Germany is slightly heavier, spots of Switzerland into Austria and France. So be aware too, and especially like let's see some more wind gusts here for the European model. So there's that low pressure in Scandinavia. That shows some higher gusts in Sweden still. Saturday, Sunday, that shows Central Europe slightly gustier, a few spots in the islands, but shows Monday spots in Russia because of that low pressure there. The GFS kind of, the winds on the GFS are very scared. The icon does have stronger gusts in Russia near northern Denmark as well. So Monday this goes further into Russia. Does show like Tuesday spots western Turkey, finger two, into Wednesday south of Iceland, and then does show by like next Thursday few spots the northwestern in the northern Atlantic there. Then Thursday, Friday, still watching later, but that's showing Turkey, some winds by Friday, Saturday. This like more than a week away, so don't mind that too much. But especially like these winds now in Scandinavia, into Russia there, be careful, and those storms in Central and Eastern Europe. So stay safe in those areas. Let's just see something else here. So let's just see it in Spanish in a minute. Entonces, estas temperaturas más altas sur de España, principalmente domingo, casi 41 grados sur de España, día 8 domingo. Entonces, precauciones en Portugal también casi 40, domingo, lunes aún muestra unas zonas de casi 40 grados. Lunes, martes un poco mejor, pero aún bastante cálido. Pero empezando el martes, vamos a tener más tormentas en España por una dana, principalmente el miércoles. Muestra más tormentas el miércoles, así, centro, norte de España, y principalmente el centro de España, en los Pirineos, y como más al norte, a la parte norte también, Madrid, quizás más zonas en el centro de España, quizás jueves más cerca de Francia y otras zonas. Good. So stay safe. Be aware, especially those severe storms in Eastern Europe, Central Europe, and like the heat wave and everything. So just checking if there's any snow. So 5 days does show some snow in Iceland still, Central Iceland, a few spots in the mountains, and like those areas. So be aware. Norway and Sweden still shows northernmost Norway some snow, some 17 centimeters. 20 centimeters northwestern Sweden, and like since even southern Norway, those mountains further in southern Norway. So be aware, those areas still in the Alps, a finger or two, like 3 centimeters on the European. The GFS barely nothing, the icon nothing as well, but the icon does have in Norway and Iceland, those areas. The GFS does have more in central southern Norway, especially in the mountains, to some even 31 centimeters, but they don't have anything in the Alps, just the European a little bit. So be aware those areas, and does show here like, let's see, there's anything else. Those warnings, check the links in the description to see the warnings. So there's like in Poland some thunderstorm advisories, in Belarus some high temperatures as well, so be careful. And like the heavy rain in a few spots. And also, let's see the waves. So does show spots of Western Europe today, and in Scandinavia slightly more waves. The Mediterranean is very quiet, just a few spots of southern France show like some 1 meter, but nothing too crazy. But in the North Atlantic, the middle of next week might be some more wind action in the Atlantic, but be aware, and especially those temperatures and everything. So stay safe those storms, and check the links in the description to see the warnings and everything. Let's just see if there's something else here for like the icon, for example, those storms, but this mainly it. So stay safe, be careful those storms and those temperatures too in some areas.